This is a PokePress Mailbag. Hi, I'm Stephen Reich here with another set of questions that you, the viewers, have sent in. Our first question is from Pokemon Trainer 87. Do you think that they will ever bring Misty back as a traveling partner of Ash's in the TV show? Well, about a year ago, one of the major Pokemon websites, I believe PokeBeach, managed to get an interview with one of the people who worked on the TV show, and the person basically confirmed that, at least at that time, there were no plans to bring Misty back as a permanent character. Now, if they do end up doing a Johto arc to promote Heart Gold and Soul Silver, as a lot of people are expecting them to do, I assume they'll make a little trip through Kanto and see her there. But I really doubt that they've changed their mind and they're deciding to make her a major character again. So, sorry. I mean, I don't obviously have any real inside knowledge there, but based on what I've heard, that's the way it is. Our second question comes from Dueling Mastery, and that person wants to know, any idea when the Pokemon VGC Video Game Championships will be coming to Canada? The US sales of the game are a combination of Canadian and American sales. I'm not 100% sure on the way those numbers are calculated. Yeah, that kind of struck me a little odd as well. I tend to figure that Pokemon is going to keep growing the video game championships until it at least tries to match that of the trading card game. One obstacle with them running more video game tournaments is that, of course, they have a large amount of supplies and equipment they have to move around for each tournament. So hopefully next year they'll have at least one qualifier in Canada, but like I said, I don't know any more than you do about that. Our next question is from 12 God of War, and he was asking, I was wondering, what is your favorite Pokemon movie and why? Well, I've come to realize I tend to appreciate the Pokemon movies primarily actually based on their music, which I guess isn't too odd since I run a Pokemon radio station. So accordingly, I think my favorites are probably 2, 5, 4 kind of, and I like 10, and 11 isn't bad either. It's not quite as good musically, but it's got kind of a neat little thing. 12 I don't know much about, but and that's actually what our next question is about a little bit. Aura Katria 108, sorry if I mispronounced that. Do you think that for the 12th Pokemon movie, Arceus, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that word there, you can see it on your screen right now, they'll make any changes to the plot dialogue, in particular when dubbing it, to avoid racial references, etc., in regards to Arceus? I'm not too familiar with the plot of the 12th movie. I usually don't preview them to find out what they're about before I see them. I guess I kind of like to preserve the surprise. I actually just finally today put in an order for the CD soundtrack, which is actually released on the 5th, which is actually tomorrow in Japan. Of course, it's on Monday the 3rd. So that should be. So I'm kind of in the dark about all of that, and but I'm sure. You know, I obviously can't say. Sometimes they, without knowing what the actual references are, I don't really want to speculate, and I really don't want to speculate in general about what kind of changes the dubbers will make when the movie eventually comes over here. And I have 2 card questions that are kind of similar here. One is from 12 God of War again. He asks what the best Pokemon card is, and that can only be answered in context, so I can't really say that one card to rule them all. But a little bit more of a precise question is from Sun867539. What is your favorite Pokemon card from the Diamond and Pearl to Platinum Rising Rivals set? So everything since Diamond and Pearl on that's come out in the US. I don't have one particular favorite card. I tend to gravitate towards cards that are kind of gimmicky and fun, but still probably not tournament playable, but still reasonably good. For example, the 2 main decks I use, I run a league for the trading card game here in Madison. And the 2 decks I use, one is a Weavile Gyarados deck, which is kind of fun. And the other is a triple legendary birds deck, Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos from, I believe, Majestic Dawn is the set. That second deck with the birds is basically a deck designed to see how many coins I can flip in a single game. So it's obviously not designed for tournaments, but it is a lot of fun to play. One more card question, it looks like. Dude Turtle wants to know, have you ever opened a booster box? Yes, I've opened quite a few, although none recently. I don't usually buy cards by the box. Since I don't play in tournaments, there's no real benefit to me, buying tons of cards at once. But I've won a couple boxes. One back in the Wizards of the Coast era. I won a trivia contest that was held over Columbus Day weekend. And I won a box there. I've won, a pre-release back when they gave out boxes pre-release. I'm glad they don't anymore because I think that's way too much of a prize for a pre-release. And from running some events, I used to run events. Got some product there. I was also a staff member at Worlds 2004. Very lucky on my part. And got a bunch of stuff there. But I haven't opened a box in a while. It's not really all that much different, except you get to open all the packs at once. I don't really miss it, so. And then we have one more question here from Goes Masta, I think, one. What do you think about how many times Ash forgets what happens in the movies and show? This is a reference, of course, to the many times during the course of the show where something will occur in a previous episode or movie, and Ash will conveniently forget about it for later. One thing you have to remember is that the movies are written in such a way that although they sort of take place in the timeline of the TV show, you can watch one without watching the other. So people can see the movies without actually having to watch the TV show. Other times I guess they kind of forget things or they want to retell things. Also, getting repeatedly shocked in the head is bound to do things to your memory. So that wraps up this batch. Keep sending them in. You can, like I said, comment on the original video that this is a response to, or put a video response to that video, or you can send in an email to the address that's appearing on your screen right now. Love to get some emails. Thanks very much, and keep listening and watching. This has been a PokePress Mailbag.